Hey guys, can you hear me? Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties. I think we're about to have storms or something here. So anyway, hello everybody. I hope everybody is doing well. I am super excited to be here tonight. We've got a really fun one. Something that a lot of our HP Lovecraft fans out there might really find interesting. So I'm going to give everybody a little bit of time to get in here and get settled. And then we'll get started. I'm going to go through some of my stuff. Am I too loud? Everything sound okay? Okay. Test, test, test. Okay. We are just have we've got gremlins in the machine tonight. I don't know what's going on here, but anyway, uh, so yeah, we're gonna let everybody kind of get in here, get settled. We've got a really fun show for you guys tonight. I'm really excited about it. Let's see who all is in the chat room and everything while we wait for everybody to come in. So it looks like we've got Root Bleed Red. Hey guys, and it says hello, hey. And we've got Calvin. Hey Calvin, so glad you're here. All right, guys. Well, like I said, we're gonna wait for everybody to kind of file in. Sound is loud enough. Okay, great. I'm glad. I'm getting a little echo on my end tonight. Like I said, I think we're going to get bad weather or something, or we have gremlins in the machine, which is very possible. Been after me all day long, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we can get through this entire stream. So it looks like we've got somebody new in the house. Dorothea Leiden. I hope I said that right. We are so glad you're here in the crypt. We always love new victims here in the crypt. And guys, one of the best things you can do to support us here at the PBDC Inc. Or Collective Inc. is just to share. It's absolutely free to share out and hook up some of your friends that might find what we do interesting. If you don't already know, I am your host, Mother Della Mort, for the Horror Gallery. Here we talk about dark history for the most part. We will get into some other things, a little bit of true crime, even though I normally leave that to Roots Bleed Red, as well as some unsolved mysteries. Um, but yeah, we are just about ready. Let's see if I've got any house cleaning to do. I believe next Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, we'll be having our members only watch party. We're going to try it this time to do the what was it? I think that the Buddies of Chaos had scheduled. Uh, Kill Pussycat, kill. I think we tried it last time and wound up having to go with Blood Sucking Freak, which was absolutely amazing. And it really, I kind of wonder if Rob Zombie didn't get some sort of inspiration from that movie for House of a Thousand Corpses. It just really had that feel uh, that we play band, underground, cult classic, the 70s like exploitation films, which are a lot of like your Faces of Death and things like that. So the ones that it's kind of hard to find in other places. So if you are not already a free member in our members area, members only area, then you need to get with your nearest cult member, left, right, upside down, and get with them, and they can give you the password. They just need to verify that you're over 18, and we don't need any trolls getting in there and not making it fun for everybody. There is live chat, live interactive chat in there as well. It's a really good time. So yeah, you'll have to join us for that 10 p.m. next Tuesday on the dot. The Bunnies of Chaos, they don't play around. They start at 10 on the dot. So we'll be doing that. I believe that Stephen P. Kitty Cat will be coming up this coming Monday. He has gone to every other Monday. So if you're a Spooky Tales with Steve the Cat fan, be aware that the schedule has somewhat changed, but he will be streaming this coming up Monday. And then, of course, we have our normal lineup, which is the Chit Chat with a Ka. We have some new streams out by Owl Light Society. One is clutch of personalities, as well as the Haunter's Handbook, which is actually a original audio drama that we have here now. So that's really exciting. And we've got some exciting news. I'll give you just a little hint. It's still all up in the air. You know, the Bunnies of Chaos kind of had to be involved in all this. They were the ones that put us in touch with these people, but we may be opening a new satellite location in Ohio. So that's going to be a lot of fun. If we'll have more about that in our newsletter. So if you're not subscribed to our newsletter, make sure that you go to psychobunnydc.com, sign up for our newsletter. We got lots of cool stuff in there, and of course, that's where you'll find the members only area for our once a month watch party. So let's go ahead and get started. We've got 3 tales for you tonight, and we're going to start with this first one. Just a second.
I'll tell you about the Yellow King. Say what? The Yellow King!
Yes, have you heard of the Yellow King? Have you seen his sign? That's who we're going to be talking about tonight. Now, for you guys that are not familiar with the Yellow King is a mysterious and enigmatic figure, eternally shrouded in mystery. That's kind of the whole thing about him. This phantom-like entity has long been told of in video games, television shows, tabletop RPGs, and books alike, each incarnation invoking the same foreboding feeling of dread. Now, the concept of the Yellow King is steeped in mystery, having been a fixture in sci-fi, fantasy, and cosmic horror fiction since its initial appearance over a century ago. It first appears in Robert W. Chambers' 1895 collection of short stories by the same name, but there are hints of its presence even before then, such as in Ambrose Bierce's work from 1893. Now, Ambrose Gwinnett Bierce was born June 24th of 1842 and passed away in 1914. He was an American short story writer, journalist, poet, and was also an American Civil War veteran. A prolific and versatile writer, Bierce was regarded as one of the most influential journalists in the United States, and as a pioneering writer of realistic fiction. For his horror writing, Michael Drada ranked him alongside Edgar Allan Poe and, of course, H.P. Lovecraft. Now, H.P. Lovecraft and Edgar Allan Poe also explored these strange corners of literature, which influenced the mysterious figure that is known as the King in Yellow, who continues to appear through time and time again, even today. Now, the story itself focuses on the appearance of a play attributed solely to the King in Yellow, which is said to drive its readers to the edge of madness upon reading its content or seeing the play. It's his first play, basically. Though the tale takes place in a grim atmosphere, the landscape of its plot could not have been better suited to the ideals that Lovecraft claimed to stand behind. In essence, the plot focuses on a character by the name of Castilda and her discovery of this cursed play. The play was named for a mysterious figure called the King in Yellow and supposedly contained forbidden content that was related to an otherworldly place by the name of Carcosa. And if you guys, and I know I just showed like a really short clip of it just a moment ago, if you guys have had the opportunity to catch True Detective, the first season was absolutely, I think they're best. They're all good, but to me, the first season was really, really good. When you first watch it, I don't think that most are really thinking of H.P. Lovecraft. and it's really up to like debate on what it what the whole theme of it may be. I mean, it's obvious it's crime, it's true crime, but when you go back and watch it a second or third time with The King in Yellow, a lot of the things that kind of circle around The King in Yellow, it's really like this weird adaptation of like H.P. Lovecraft and just kind of the whole King in Yellow theology and stuff. It, it's very very cool if you watch it from that kind of standpoint. But it's a very 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 good show. If you've got HBO, they still have it on, even though season one, that was years ago when they came out. But I would absolutely recommend you go and watch it because Carcosa, The King in Yellow, all that comes up. So it's a lot of fun. Now, The King in Yellow and its fictional home, Carcosa, were two items that provided an exceptionally unique backdrop to a horror story, the kind of elements that could easily have grabbed the attention of some of the greatest minds in the field of horror. They captured the imaginations of countless others as well, and even to this day, as both of these elements still remain shrouded in mystery and really extremely popular. And I think actually more so, it seems like H.P. Lovecraft has kind of seen a resurgence. So I like that. It's a lot of fun. Now, the mysterious and fictional land called Carcosa is known for its menacing and eerie tone and its effect really on humanity. The play is said to have been written by a mysterious figure known as the King in Yellow, and its contents are a source of great dread and terror for those who read it, much like the Necronomicon. Little is known about the play's author, but it is believed to have come from the French town of Carcosa. It is said that the town is cursed, and those who visit are met with strange and eerie atmospheres and, I would probably say, effects on people that may find themselves so unlucky as to find themselves in Carcosa. Now, the most interesting aspect of The King in Yellow is its enigmatic namesake, a mysterious figure whose identity drives much of the narrative. And really, if you think about it, like there's descriptions of the King in Yellow, but at the same time, uh, it's really open to interpretation. It's kind of like one of those, fallbacks of, the appearance was undescribable. Now you will often see him with the pallid mask, and we may get more into that on another episode. But basically, the pallid mask was meant to stand for the truth of all things, whether that is good truth or bad truth. It is the truth of all things. Now, the most interesting aspect of the King in Yellow is its, like I said, enigmatic namesake and mysterious figure. This figure is said to be a spectral and godlike being, or a godlike human, possibly, who brings chaos and misery to those who confront him, or even by chance have the misfortune of encountering him. The figure wears a strange yellow costume and is variously described as a king, a prophet, and a deity. He wields a great power and is both feared and respected. Present with all of the stories within the book King in Yellow, or the Yellow King. But really, it's the first four that are kind of the best and well known. He wields a great power and is both feared and respected. Like I said, he is presented in almost all of the stories, leaving a subtle or subtle influence that is often difficult to detect. The stories themselves vary in tone. Some are dark and disturbing, while others are light and humorous. Now, the first four stories, The Repairer of Reputation and The Yellow Sign, are set in the imagined future of the 1920s America, whereas the second and third stories, The Mask and In the Court of the Dragon are set in Paris. These stories are haunted by the same theme. Have you found the yellow sign? The stories in The King in Yellow are heavily steeped in literature and mythology from around the world. The main character is often seen as an analog for either Lucifer of the Bible or even Shimshutsu of Japanese folklore. He is present and influence can be found throughout the stories, hinting at some of the dark and mysterious forces in the world. Now, The King in Yellow is an important work of fantasy fiction and horror. The stories are beautifully written, captivating, and engaging. It is a collection that explores complex themes of identity, morality, and the supernatural. At the heart of The King in Yellow is the idea of horror and the unknown, which H.P. Lovecraft, that was kind of his whole thing. The thing that scares humans the most is really the unknown. And that's a lot of times when we're scared of the dark. So, for example, the book suggests the existence of unknown parallel universes and other dangerous places beyond our known reality. Sorry. The King in Yellow is an entity from beyond our understanding, and it is true, and it's in its true form, it is left unknown. Like I said, I mean, it's kind of up to each artist. If you'll search The King in Yellow, like a lot of artists have kind of a basic, feel for him, but it's so up to the interpretation that you get some really fantastic artwork on The King in Yellow. Now, his control over humans is said to be pervasive, as he is capable of manipulating them into doing his bidding, and often madness. That's basically what kind of happens once you have dealings with The King in Yellow. Now, recurring motifs throughout the book include weird geometry, unknown languages, and a weird city, like I said, known as Carcosa. The King in Yellow's identity, like I said, remains a mystery, but the book's suggestion that the king's authority is malevolent and far-reaching have led to numerous theories about who he might actually be. The King in Yellow has been the subject of much speculation since its first publication. While some scholars have sought to determine the identity of its author, others have focused on the play's themes and symbols. One popular interpretation is that it is a commentary on mankind's relationship to power and law. The King in Yellow has been partially credited to, like I said, Ambrose Bierce, the famous American writer and satirist. Now, there, of course, is no definite proof that Bierce wrote the actual play, but many believe that Bierce's unique writing style and thematic elements are reflective in the text. Now, the story has been studied by academics who have examined various aspects of the play and its impact on literature and popular culture. Interestingly, mentions of the play appear in works of other writers, such as Mark Twain and Stephen King. Now, The King in Yellow is a classic of horror fiction that has inspired countless works of fiction. From horror movies to TV shows, the book's unique take on horror invites discussion and debate and is often open to interpretation. And that was kind of H.P. Lovecraft's whole thing, was for people to build upon what he had created. So, kind of like Tolkien in a way, was it just to build on what he had already created. So, there are a lot of things that are left open to interpretation, which I like that. I like that. It's like a continuum. And it begs to differ. And it's kind of the same thing with creepypasta. So, to me, I see a lot of elements of some of the cosmic horror and everything, even within like the creepypastas and stuff. So yeah, that. Now, whether or not it was created, like I said, by Ambrose Bierce or someone else, The King in Yellow is a thought-provoking piece of literature that will linger in the reader's mind long after they have read the book. Now, an interesting bit of information. Now, in October of 1913, now remember, this is the year that I believe he died. Was it 1913 or 1914? Maybe it was 1914. 1914. Okay. So in 1913, Bierce, at the age of 71, departed from Washington, D.C. for a tour of his old Civil War battlefield. Now, according to reports, by December he had passed through Louisiana and Texas, crossing by way of El Paso into Mexico, which was in the throes of a revolution at that time. Now, in Caduda, Juarez, he joined Pancho Villa's army as an observer, and in that role, he witnessed the Battle of Terra Blanca. It was reported that Bierce accompanied Villa's army as far as the city of Chihuahua. His last known communication with the world was a letter that he wrote to a Blanche Carrington, who was a close friend, dated December 26th of 1913. After closing his letter by saying, "As to me, I leave here tomorrow for an unknown destination," he then vanished without a trace, and his disappearance becoming one of the most famous in American literature history. So maybe he found his way to the underground city of Carcosa. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that for our H.P. Lovecraft fans out there. Let's see what's going on in the comments real quick. And then I do believe we're going to go ahead and cut to a commercial real quick after that. So bear with me for just a moment. Let's get over to the comments. Oh my goodness, we've got a bunch of folks. Okay, hold on just a second, guys. So Raz says, "Hello, everybody." And then we got Mikey in the house. Hey, Mikey, how are you? And then Hexa says, "Hey, hey, everybody." Hold on. Sorry. So Mikey said, "Did you get to see the Band in America, Odd Mother?" I watched parts of it, but I'm going to be very honest with you, Mikey. I can be a bit squeamish sometimes. I wasn't so much so in my much earlier years, but yeah, it's on our list of movies that we'll be showing most definitely. So yeah, so you'll have to tune in for that one when we do that one. And guys, we've got so many. We have got like a year's worth of movies already on reserve that we're going to be showing, from what I understand from the Bunnies of Chaos. And then remember, they'll go into an on-demand player, some on-demand players that we've got in the members only area on the website. If for some reason you do miss the watch party, which is always a lot of fun because we like to do the shenanigans in the chats and all that kind of stuff, and it's not monitored by Facebook or YouTube, so yeah, you can talk freely in there. Um, it's completely uncensored, so a lot of fun. So you'll have to join us for that, especially next Tuesday. And then Mikey says this is interesting. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I'll be honest with you, Odd Daughter was a little upset that we were covering the King in Yellow without her. So we'll have to do something a little bit more in depth, maybe on the play or something along those lines. Sometime down the road, maybe how it works into some of the uh, folklore, I guess you would say, because there's just a lot there. So yeah, we'll have to come back and revisit this a little bit deeper later. Well, for some reason, let's see what we can do here. Hey, we've just been having the weirdest little gremlin in the system here. All right, here we go. So Nadine says, hello. Hey, Nadine. So glad you're here. And then we've got Delphine. Hello, Delphine. How are you? And she says, my notifications did not go out. Sorry, I'm late. It's okay. We are all suffering from Gremlins in the Machine, apparently. I've been having nothing but just aggravation all day long. Either that or I've pissed Murphy off, which is highly possible too. And then Akia says, Malevolent is so good when it comes to the King in Yellow. Yes, if you like the fantasy audio dramas, like the full series audio dramas, catch Malevolent on probably any of your podcasting streaming services. It's very, very good. And the King in Yellow is a very big part.
Yeah. Hello, all you beautiful people out there. It's your boy Sleepy. And when I'm not guzzling down gallons and gallons of amazing ice cream, yes, oh, I love ice cream. Oh, hang on. I'm watching PBDC TV. Now, back to the show, all you beautiful people, and remember, stay nasty.
Okay, I'm back. So see, I'm telling you, I pissed off Murphy apparently. But Oz behind the curtain had my back. Thank you so much, Oz. I really appreciate it. All right, so let's get back to the comments real quick. Let's see if I can get in here and do this. I'm wondering if it's because I'm somehow working out of these two things. These two electronic devices. All right, so we got East Coast Haunters, and East Coast says, "Hey, mother, sorry, I'm like, it's okay. Like I said, I don't even think the notifications went out right. It is just a night full of gremlins. Yeah, so let's get on to our next story since we already played the advertisement. And now we're going to, and these two were by request. So, like I said, if you want to request topics, they may not show up right away, but I will definitely get to them. It's just sometimes some of these topics don't have a whole lot, so I have to hold on to them until I do like a show like tonight where I'm doing a couple of different ones. So tonight we're going to be talking about the silent people of Finland. Now, the silent people of Finland, otherwise known as, and oh my God, I'm trying to pronounce this, Tiljagen Kansa. It is a fascinating phenomenon that began in the Finnish town of Suomussalmi in 1988. The phenomenon consists of large scarecrows that were made out of peat moss and pieces of wood. Somewhat similar to scarecrows, sort of. The history behind the silent people of Finland is largely unknown and has been, like I said, shrouded in a lot of mystery. There are various theories as to how and why these scarecrow-like things were created, although the exact origin is still in dispute. Now, this practice actually dates back to pre-Christian times, when they were thought to represent ancient gods who watched over their villages. Some suggest that the people of Suomussalmi created them out of fear that wild animals may have been encroaching on their land. Some suggest that the people from that town created them out of fear, like I said, about the wild animals. Others believe that the scarecrow type things were created in response to a spiritual calling or for some sort of religious purpose. Now, whatever the case, the silent people of Finland have become an iconic part of life in that town, which is, and I'm going to do it one last time, Sumuliimi, and are seen throughout the region. And I doubt very seriously if phonetically trying to pronounce that the name of that town is probably in no way the Finnish way of saying it. So, for any of my Finnish people out there, I do apologize. Now, the scarecrows themselves have a unique shape and design. Each one is approximately a meter tall, which basically is going to be like the height of a human, and is made from small stacks of peat, which are then adorned with pieces of wood. I believe that these pieces of wood are symbolic, providing various physical and spiritual protection to the surrounding area. Now, overall, the scarecrows are said to represent stories of the ancestors and the spiritual relationship they have with nature. The silent people of Finland, like I said, are somewhat life-size models of human silhouettes. Initially, they were placed all around the town, but now they are mostly concentrated in that village's town square. The figures vary in size and may be placed individually or in groups. In most cases, the sculptures are silent and do not move, hence the name, the silent people. But in the hilly areas, they may be placed in poses such as running, dancing, or even playing instruments. This is believed to signify the ancient symbolisms of gods and guardians keeping watch over the area. They can represent, like I said, gods. They can be used to ward off evil or ward off bad luck, or act as a tutelary spirit, basically kind of, what would be the best way to explain that? Maybe more of like either an ancestor, or it could be like some sort of like demi type thing, demigod of some sort, and even grant good fortune. The silent people of Finland is an incredibly important part of the country's cultural heritage. This phenomenon has allowed the people of that village to preserve their way of life and to pass on their spiritual and cultural beliefs to future generations. Now, this phenomenon has helped to connect people with the environment, teaching them to respect nature and to appreciate its beauty. Furthermore, it has spawned various interpretations, allowing people to explore their spiritual side and connect with their inner spirituality. The silent people of Finland is an incredible example of a unique cultural heritage and a lasting testament to the spiritual power of nature. This phenomenon continues to bring people together and to connect them to the environment in a meaningful way. Now, while the origins, like I said, of the phenomenon remain shrouded in mystery, it is clear that the silent people of Finland is a unique spectacle. And actually, I'm not going to lie, they're kind of creepy. They're kind of creepy, but in a cool way. If you're like into like folk horror and things along those lines, yeah, you'll probably dig the silent people. Let's see, where were we at? All right, so the silent people of Finland, like I said, is a unique spectacle. It's earned international attention in the recent years. It is still a popular tourist attraction and a fixture in traditional Finnish culture. The sculptures represent a respect for the tradition and a deep appreciation for the beauty of the environment. It is an awe-inspiring symbol of nature and the power of ancient civilization, and a reminder that the world is full of mysteries and wonders. And don't forget that. That's what makes, especially for us that really kind of get into the creepy and spooky and high strangeness, that's what makes it fun. Just the mysteries and the wonders and things along those lines. So to me, I think it's always important to stay not childish, but childlike when it comes to things like that. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. See, my thing's still not wanting to work over here. That's weird. So someone actually, there we go. Thank you. Thank you, Oz behind the curtain. O Musami, is how it's pronounced. So see, I was way off. Oh, I told you I wasn't pronouncing it right. All right, so now we're gonna. Does anybody? I guess we could go through the comments real quick if you don't mind, Oz. If you don't mind taking over right there, with the comments because I don't know if. I think we may have covered all of it. Okay, yeah. So Texas says, I gotta say it like the show. The King in Yellow. That's how you say it, King in Yellow. All right, so we're gonna get to our last story tonight, and we actually might finish up a little early. So we just sit here and gab for a minute if we need to. And there's a lot of other legends that are attributed to this area that we're about to talk about, but this is just one of them. This is one of the well-known ones. We're going to talk about one of the legends of Mount Shasta. Now, California's Mount Shasta has been the subject of an unusually large number of myths and legends. There's all kinds of stuff. In particular, it is often said that there's a secret city beneath its peak. In some stories, the city is no longer inhabited, while in others, it is inhabited by a technologically advanced society of human beings or even mythical creatures. According to local indigenous tribes, namely the Willamette people, Mount Shasta is inhabited by the spirit chief Skell, who descended from the heaven to the mount summit. Skell fought the spirit of the below world, Leo, who resided at Mount Mazama by throwing hot rocks and lava, probably representing the volcanic eruptions at both mountains. Now, writer Joaquin recorded various legends in the 1870s related to Mount Shasta. Mount Shasta has also been the focus for non-Native American legends, centering on another hidden city by the name of Pelham. This is beings from the lost continent of Lemuria. The legend grew from an offhanded mention of Lemuria in 1880. Now, in 1899, Frederick Spencer Oliver published a Dweller on Two Planets, which claims the survivors of a sunken continent called Lemuria were living in or on Mount Shasta. Now, Oliver's Lemurians lived in a complex of tunnels beneath so what did I stop? What did you like? Yeah, fun stories for you. It seems like talking at us and not just me now. Oh my goodness. Uh, so anyway, so do I need to back up? Somebody let me know in the chat where we're at. What was the last thing you heard me say? Because apparently we may have to end this early. Are we back? So everything was really jumbled. Hmm. All right. Well, I'll just start over. We're going to try to get through this last one, and then I may just have to end early because I am having all kinds of trouble tonight. I am not sure what is going on. Everything was very jumbled. Okay. All right. So we were talking about Mount Shasta, and basically, Mount Shasta has a lot of legends related to it about underground cities, both from the Native American tribes in that area, as well as non-indigenous or Native American tribes. Now, there was a person by the name of a gentleman by the name of Frederick Spencer Oliver who published a book by the name of Dweller on the Two Planets. And basically, what this did is it claimed that there were survivors from an underground or from some sort of sunken continent by the name of Lemuria that were living in or on top of Mount Shasta. Now, they would occasionally come out, but they would be often seen walking the surface dressed in white, like white robes, like H.P. Lovecraftian cults. I don't know. Who knows? Now, according to Guy Ballard, while hiking on Mount Shasta, um, he actually encountered, and well, I guess it shouldn't surprise you, he actually encountered the Count Saint Germain, who is said to have startled Ballard on the path to discovering the teachings that would later become the I Am movement, or the I Am activity religious movement. Now, I didn't get a whole lot into the I Am movement, but according to legend, J.C. Brown, who was a British prospector who discovered a lost underground city beneath Mount Shasta in 1904. Now, Brown had been hired by the Lord Cowdray Mining Company of England to prospect for gold and discovered what he said was a cave which sloped downward for 11 miles. Now, in the cave, he found an underground village filled with gold, shields, and mummies, some being up to 10 feet tall. And that kind of reminds you of what is that valley? I can't remember the name of the valley that is in the Grand Canyon that nobody is allowed to go to, and that they say there's like a lot of Egyptian sculptures and mummies and things like that. That's kind of what it reminds me of, sort of. Now he told his story 30 years later to a John C. Root, who proceeded to gather an exploration team in Stockton, California. About 80 people joined the team, but on the day the team was set out, Brown did not show up, and Brown was never heard or seen from again. So your second disappearance, kind of weird. But yeah, the I Am movement is somehow related to the Summit Lighthouse, Church Universal and Triumphant, Love Has Won, and the Cryon occult kind of belief system, so to speak. And I don't know anything about any of those really. I've heard of the I Am, but I'm not really going to go into that. That's not really what I do here. So, but I am going to go ahead and end a little early, guys, because apparently whatever is going on just does not want me to stream tonight. So, but I hope you did enjoy the show. I'm sorry if it was kind of jumbled up, kind of outside of my control. And I guess we will see you Friday after next. Seriously, go ahead and go on our website, pick up you an invite to our Discord. And if you have suggestions that you would like topics you would like me to cover, let me know. Because I have a lot of fun researching this stuff, but I have had so many really cool suggestions from some of our supporters of things that either I may have known about but really hadn't looked at a lot, or I knew absolutely nothing about. So yeah, it's a fun educational thing for me too. Plus, you get to hear something that you're really interested in, and then all of our other supporters get to hear something they may not have heard before. So definitely hit me up on Discord. You can hit me up on DM if you are friends on my profile. So that would only go out to a selective few of you guys that are out there. But if this is the first time you've joined in my show or what have you, just go to our website, which is psychobunnydc.com, and you can find your invite to our Discord. You can find all different kinds of stuff on there. You can find links to all our different platforms as well as past shows. And you can contact us about the members only area. And don't forget to sign up for the newsletter because we'll be able to really announce the big announcement that we want to make. It's still kind of hush hush, like I said. But things have happened fast. So we may be opening a satellite location in, what was the name of that? I think the Bunnies of Chaos were telling me, was it Pickwich, Ohio? So you'll definitely have to tune into that. We'll have, which our newsletter, we're still working on it because when I was just about done for it, that's when we got this news. So I'm including that. So make sure you're signed up and you keep up with what's going on with us in Ohio. I hear it's a very unique place, and that might be saying it nicely. So yeah, so you'll want to join us on our newsletters too. So and we got a lot of fun stuff in there. We've got like puzzles and stuff like that. It's really a community design. And our intentions were to kind of do old school, kind of in the punk days, kind of before the internet, when you had all the really cool enzymes that were independently made. So yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend. And I will see you guys Friday after next. Pleasant nightmare, guys. Bye.